Hello and welcome to the Christine Bonatti Bullwinkle Arena here in the Reagan Center, home of your Eureka College Red Devils tonight in their SLIAC matchup against the Principia Panthers. The Panthers coming in with a record of 8-12, 7-7 in the SLIAC, with your Eureka Red Devils at 14-7, coming off a big win at 9-5 in the SLIAC. On the call for you tonight, I'm Thomas Harrison. Alongside me, Jacob Schnolly. Jake, how you doing?
Good, man. I'm ready to go. Ready for another good SLIAC game tonight on a snowy Tuesday night. Ready for some good action.
Yeah, tonight a bit of a different look here from the Red Devils, coming off a big victory without two key starters, Hank Thomas and Shea Feehan, but still able to come away with the win in that one. Dakota Bennington stepping up from his usual spot on the bench as kind of a role player, stepping into the starting lineup, dropping 33 points.
You know, you got to love that Coach Wilde has that depth now that he can bring guys off the bench into that starting role. Like you said, Red Devils missing two starters, but not missing a beat with Bennington getting slotted in that starting spot and having a tremendous game, leading the Red Devils to a win.
And tonight we will see Hank Thomas back on the court for the Red Devils. The sharpshooter Shea Feehan, however, will still be out for this contest. But we will look to see the Red Devils go with the same starting five as their last matchup, with Wiegand, Dame, McElmurray, the typical three, and then Brady Sanders and Dakota Bennington stepping into that starting five. So we get about 3 minutes away from tip-off here. Teams finishing up their warm-ups. So we talked about the typical three of Wiegand, Dame, and McElmurray. Those guys really do a good job playing their role. Not really any big scorers there, but then we talk about Dakota Bennington coming in off the bench and putting up those big scoring numbers.
You know, and you always watch when Bennington gets in the game, he can be a starter for this team. But like you said, with the sharpshooters, Thomas and Feehan, it's hard to get a starting role, and Coach Willie feels comfortable running out that same five as last week, and it should be a good game for this Red Devils team.
And we talk about McElmurray. We talked about it a little bit before we got on the air here. McElmurray, just your typical point guard. It's really what you dream of in the point guard. Great ball handler, tenacious defender, and always looks to pass first. He will drive and score in the hole if he needs to, but he's not going to be the guy that's going to look to get his shots. He's going to look to get other people their shots, and with shooters like Thomas, Feehan, Bennington, you can afford to do that.
You know, and we've talked about that, how he's a spark plug for this team. You know, he gets going on the defensive end, leading the fast breaks. He plays lockdown defense. He facilitates this offense, and he just, like we said, the best overall kind of point guard for this position for this team. Alongside
McElmurray, you'll see down low Alex Wiegand and Jordan Dame, the two big men for Eureka College. Very athletic big men. Wiegand you'll see flying high up in the air for those rebounds. A great post defender. And then Dame, a very athletic guy, can handle the ball a little bit, can step out and shoot, but also be a big body down low when you have some height and some size on the other team trying to bang it out down low, trying to get those interior baskets. A long body can get those arms up and in the face of some shots.
You know what I think helps this offense run, like you said, is Jordan Dame. He's a stretch kind of guy, can go out, step out, take a three, play down low, rebound. Alex Wiegand, he's just a freak athletically. I've seen that guy get up above the rim almost every time in this layup line so far, and it's just tremendous show watching him warm up for a basketball game.
Eureka College has both teams leaving the floor now to get to their respective benches. We'll see the Red Devil men look to build off what has been a great season here at home, only dropping one contest here in the Reagan Center. And you can attribute that partially to this great atmosphere that Eureka College has created here at home. We talk about time and time again Steve Thompson, what he's done for this program. We see right now the student section filling up. Steve Thompson over there now just talking to the guys, getting them a little fired up. Everyone's just excited and ready to go whenever there's a home game on this campus.
And you know that student section is fired up. Another home game for this Red Devils team today. They love getting involved. They love being able to cheer on their Red Devils. They love to get on other teams. They love to just be in this atmosphere that Steve Thompson created. And all props to him. He's done a great job, and it's turned this environment into a fun place to watch a basketball game.
A fun place. Only a couple more chances to catch this men's squad. Of course, tonight's matchup versus Principia, and they will be back in action here at home on Saturday against Westminster, followed by a week from then, next Saturday, at home against Fontbonne to close it out, have senior day here. As we take a quick break for the national anthem, we will be right back. As we're back here, and they're getting ready for starting lineups here at the Reagan Center for the Principia Panthers. They will roll out the starting five of number 22, Brennan Paulson, number 34, Jeff Ross, number 00, Trayvon Goodman, number 2, Micah Paulson, and 14, Parker Davidson. You know, Jake, you and I were talking about this Principia team, not a big roster, but they've got some size here and a lot of lanky bodies, not exactly big physical guys, but big, long bodies.
You know, and that could pose a threat for this Red Devils team because of the size and the length. You know, Malcolm Murray, not the tallest. Also, Hank Thomas coming off the bench maybe tonight, not going to be the tallest. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Wilde can counteract this length from Principia and work it to his advantage with this Red Devils offense.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys talk about the athleticism of Alex Wiegand. You could see him playing a key role here for this Red Devil squad down low with those long bodies for the Principia Panthers. You see now the video is up on the roof here of the Reagan Center, showing some highlights. We've seen some exciting plays this season, looking to see some more of those tonight, especially when we look Dakota Bennington in this lineup. If you have not seen his highlights, this man has put up some incredible highlight reel plays. We've seen him maybe his first really welcome to the Reagan moment came in his first contest here at home when he cut backdoor to the lane. Ryan McElmurray finds him cutting to the basket, goes up and dunks it right in the face of a couple defenders, and this place was going nuts. And just when you thought he couldn't top it, we see last week here at home in the Reagan Center, Hank Thomas throws up a lob from just inside half court, and Bennington flies up and throws it down.
You know, how fun is Bennington to watch? Like you said, you never know when a big play is going to come from him. He's surprised us so many times. And not just that, he can step out, shoot the three, shoot the elbow extended. So he's been one of my favorite players to watch on this Red Devils team, just to see the way he can score the basketball and just the way he plays the game of basketball in general.
Yeah, very exciting guy to watch. Another local guy. We talk about the local recruiting that head coach Chip Wilde has done for this squad. All these local guys. Look at other rosters. You see guys from all over the states, all over this Midwest area. With Eureka, you see this greater Peoria area throughout the entire roster, top to bottom. And those guys, the playing experience they have, the relationships they built even prior to coming to Eureka, definitely show on the court with that court vision, that just the cohesion that these guys have together on the floor. They never skip a beat.
You know, and that just doesn't help this team. Also, that helps future teams. For guys on this team going out back to where they came from high school, being, hey, Coach Wilde, I played for Coach Wilde, you guys can do something special. So it just completes a full circle for this basketball program in general.
Once again, now the teams stepping onto the court as we're just about ready to tip off here for the Red Devil versus Principia matchup here in a SLIAC contest. Alex Wiegand stepping into the center circle, surrounded by his fellow Red Devils, Jordan Dame, Brady Sanders, Dakota Bennington, and Ryan McElmurray. And the tip is up. Alex Wiegand will win that one back to Bennington. He will give to McElmurray, and the Red Devils are ready to go as he will look to kick left to Bennington. Nothing there. He'll go to Sanders. Back up to McElmurray, looking for a cut backdoor. He'll find Wiegand down on the left wing. Wiegand back to McElmurray. McElmurray a little bit of space. He will jab, step back, put up a three. That one is up and good. That step back from McElmurray, that's a shot he prefers. We've seen him pass up a couple open threes, but that's one he won't hesitate to shoot.
You know, like you touched on, we haven't seen him take that many shots, so good to see McElmurray getting started early. That's going to be huge in this contest tonight.
Yeah, a lot of confidence there from McElmurray early, as now Principia is on the counterattack. As now they look to work inside to Davidson. Davidson back out up top to Jeff Ross. Ross's three is up off the back iron, no good, rebounded by Sanders. So now Sanders will give it to McElmurray, facing a little bit of pressure there. He'll find Dame open in the right wing. So he will take a dribble, come in and knock down the mid-range two from the wing. Eureka up to a quick 5-0 lead here with a minute gone in the contest, as now Principia looks to counter. As now they will swing the ball around the left side. Paulson will give it off to Paulson. Micah Paulson now with the ball as he will go right side to Davidson. Davidson inside 34. Jeff Ross, a big scorer last year in the contest here at the Reagan Center, as now Brendan Paulson's shot is up long, no good. Tipped back in by Principia, but eventually corralled by Wiegand. Wiegand off to Sanders. Sanders will look to slow things down a little bit. He'll give it off to McElmurray here on the left side. McElmurray a little bit of pressure, gets a screen from Dames. He'll look to go right side, cut off there by Brendan Paulson. As now McElmurray will pump fake, go right side. He will give it back into Sanders. Sanders with the spin. Backdoor cut from Wiegand as he will lay it in for 2.
And if you're Principia right now, you do not want this Red Devils team getting hot. We've seen it time and time again. This Red Devils team will build and build and build, and sometimes there's a good 5-10 minutes. They don't miss a shot. So if you're Principia, you really need to lock down this defense and their shooters.
As Goodman will travel there for Principia, and Eureka will get the ball back here with a 7-0 lead. So you can already hear the student section fired up. Eureka off and running. 2 starters not in the lineup tonight and still not missing a beat. We touch on it every time we're on the call. This team, no matter who you throw in there, they're playing the same game, and it has worked so well for them this season.
That's going to be huge down the stretch as they make a push to the playoffs. Can they find guys to step in roles and still continue to knock down shots? And so far, Chip Willie has found the perfect formula to keep this high-powered offense going.
It's like on that last possession, Dakota Bennington coming in, hitting the turnaround, and pushing this lead to 9. As now Parker Davidson will put up a 3. That one long, no good. Rebounded high in the air by Bennington. Bennington looks to push. He will pull it back and give it off to McElmurray. McElmurray goes back to Bennington. A deep 3 from top, no good. Rebounded by number 34, Jeff Ross. Now Goodman with the ball on the right side. Goodman looking to work on Sanders. He will kick it out to Ross. Ross with a lot of space there. That 3 is up and good for Principia to open the scoring here. As now McElmurray will look to bring the ball up the court right side against Micah Paulson. He gives the ball to Wiegand. Wiegand the touch pass to Bennington. He will spin right in traffic. That one eventually stolen away by Brendan Paulson. Now Mike Paulson trying to work right side as they will swing it all the way across to Brendan Paulson. That 3 up, no good. High off the backboard, rebounded by Alex Wiegand. Now McElmurray working left side. Bennington wanting the ball. He will set the screen for McElmurray. Now McElmurray alone on the left. A little bit of isolation here. That step back 3 is up and good for McElmurray.
Good start for McElmurray early, knocking down 2 threes. Should build his confidence for the rest of this contest.
Yeah, McElmurray, a guy that certainly wants to step in when you see guys like Feehan, Hank Thomas out and contribute a lot more to the scoring. He has done so early here. As now Eureka will poke that ball away as Ross looks to get it inside. He will give it right side to Paulson. Now down low to Brendan Paulson. He will look to work against Bennington and find the backdoor cut from Davidson as he will put that one in. So now McElmurray working up the right side. He will give it left to Bennington. Bennington gets the call from the bench. He will set up the offense. Now Sanders with the ball up top to McElmurray. McElmurray now looks for Dame. He will get another chance for a 3. That one up and good for McElmurray.
He is on fire right now. Send this gym off on a crazy start.
We saw pregame McElmurray kind of talking to himself, trying to get hyped up, and it has worked here early. He is playing some tight defense, knocking down 3 big threes early. And now Principia. Davidson with the ball, so he will get it off to Ross. Ross trying to work against Dame. He looks to spin, right side, he's up in the air, gives it off to Brendan Paulson. Now to Micah Paulson. Micah Paulson kicks it back out to Ross. Ross pumps, gets by Dame. He will put up the floater, long, no good, tipped, and rebounded by Bennington. He's off and running. Principia had numbers, so Bennington gets up, forced to pass that one away there. It is stolen away by Principia. And then that layup, no good by Ross, but rebounded by Davidson and put back in.
He didn't get the block, but how about Bennington's hustle after that turnover to really recognize he had a chance to make a big impact? I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, you can see a lot of guys give up after that turnover, just let the easy transition layup go. Bennington got back and fought, altered that shot, leading to that missed layup. Sanders now driving to the basket, a couple spin moves, and he will put Brendan Paulson on the floor before putting that layup up and in.
And we've talked about this before. That is Brady Sanders' signature move. That little spin dribble creates just a little bit of distance for himself to get an easy shot just like down there.
And now Micah Paulson with the ball, trying to work right side. He'll be trapped, now guarded by McElmurray. He kicks back out to Paulson as they will give it to Ross. Ross with a little bit of space, tries to drive right. He will kick it back out to Paulson. They will swing it. Mike Paulson now guarded by McElmurray. Tries to step back, no room. He puts a shot up and good in the face of McElmurray. Not much more Ryan McElmurray could have done right there. Great defense. Just a solid shot from Paulson.
And this Red Devils team not really given any easy shots early in this one so far. Interesting to see how Principia is going to counteract that the rest of the game.
As that ball poked away by Gooden momentarily, but eventually gotten back by McElmurray, and his 3 this time up off the right side of the iron, rebounded by Paulson. Principia now working left. Mike Paulson, he will try to just stop and pop, and he will put that one in for 3. Now Eureka up 17-12 with 13:30 left And McElmurray with the outlet pass to Wiegand. Wiegand goes to the reverse, just a bit long, rebounded by Principia there in transition. Mike Paulson thinks about another one. They will find a backdoor. Brendan Paulson, he will go up and in for two with the reverse.
That's a very uncharacteristic play right there from the Red Devils team, just forgetting about a backside guy. I don't expect to see that happen much the rest of this game.
Yeah, getting a little bit lost there with the backdoor cutting baseline. Now Sanders will look to work baseline. We'll see an offensive foul here on the Red Devils, and Principia will gain possession. Because now we see Hank Thomas checking into the contest for his first minutes for Brady Sanders. So we get a full timeout here from the Red Devils, up 17-14 with 13 minutes left. Eureka jumping out to a big 12-0 lead early, but Principia really finding a bunch of open men down low. We've seen a couple backdoor cuts on the baseline. Eureka just needing to tighten up that defense a little bit.
You know, and we talked about this athleticism from Principia basketball team, and it's showing right now. Like you said, Eureka got out that big lead. Principia kind of tightened down, got some good open looks, got a couple backdoor cuts, and now they made it an interesting game. So it'll be fun to watch down the stretch how this game's going to play out.
Yeah, we've seen those backdoor cuts. Principia getting in the passing lanes here early. We've seen them give the Red Devils fits several times here, just poking the ball out, maybe momentarily altering some shots. We've seen a couple lay-ins down low, not able to go. But the Red Devils looking to come out of this timeout and get that momentum back that they started with. A big start. Now Hank Thomas, a shooter, checking back into the game. I'm sure we'll see him spotting up in those corners like we do almost every contest.
You know, it'll be interesting to see how he comes back from this injury and comes off the bench, see how he kind of positions himself into this Red Devils offense and how he can step up and make an impact.
Here we see Hank Thomas wearing that protective mask for the first time at Eureka College. See how that affects him. See if he can just play through that as Ross now with the ball with some space. Dame respecting that one as they will give it off to Paulson. Work inside to Davidson. So they will now get it back out right side to Davidson. As now that ball tipped by McElmurray. But Goodman with the ball. He tries to drive baseline. He will go up and in. Put that one down for two with a little bit of contact there, cutting this Eureka lead to one.
You know, another difficult shot for this Principia offense, and they still get it to go. So there's a lot to be said for how the rest of this game is going to be played out.
As now Hank Thomas tries to drive through the lane. He will go up for the floater and be fouled. He will head to the line for two. We see there Jordan Dame setting a nice hard screen. Hank Thomas, a great finisher for his size, very physical and athletic. See, he's not shying down from the challenge right there.
You know, Thomas, I was just going to touch on that. Good to see Hank Thomas still keeping that aggressive nature in him, even with the mask on, to continue to drive to the hoop. Because if he goes to the line, he can knock down almost every shot.
As now Hank Thomas will knock down that first free throw. His second attempt up and long off the back of the iron and rebounded by Micah Paulson. Now Paulson will try to stop and pop again for three. This one rattles around, no good, rebounded by Bennington. Bennington gives the ball off to McElmurray as he will give it to Dame right side, and they will find Bennington up top. Left to McElmurray. He gets a little bit of space, splits some defenders, back out to Dame. The touch pass to Hank Thomas. The pump as he will now go to the basket, have that one blocked out of bounds. Eureka will maintain possession there. As now Austin Juergens checks into the game for his first minutes. Alex Wiegand will take a quick breather here. Eureka up 18-16 with 12:02 left in the first half. As McElmurray will look to inbound here. Once again, we see a lot of length here on this Principia defense, causing a lot of problems getting some passing lanes here for the Red Devils. You see right there, he has to go over the top all the way out to half court to Thomas, as Thomas looks to set up the offense now with Principia working in a 2-3 defense.
You know, and Principia not allowing Eureka to get anything down low, which was a huge factor in them getting this big early 12-0 lead.
Now late in the shot clock, Hank Thomas will put up a three. That one off the right side of the iron, but tipped out of bounds by Principia as Eureka will regain possession. Having to work late into the possession there, struggling with that zone defense to find the open shooter. We saw McElmurray trying to dribble out of trouble, but a lot of trapping there from Principia.
You know, not something we've seen teams run against Eureka a lot is that zone trap kind of defense, and it'll be interesting to see how Eureka can get their open looks down low like they're so used to.
As Juergens now will his long two, no good, rebounded by Principia as they look to be off and running now. Goodman with the ball as he will try to drive past McElmurray. He will go up and lay that one in. So now this game all tied up, but McElmurray quickly on the attack as he will give it to Hank Thomas. Hank Thomas spins, that shot blocked and now pulled down by the Panthers. Hank Thomas now, you just saw a little bit of contact there trying to contest Principia bringing that ball up the floor as he will get called for the foul. And he has taken that mask off. You can tell he is not happy with how it feels. He just wants to be that normal, aggressive Hank Thomas, that aggressive shooter. Maybe that mask just holding him back a little bit.
And you saw him kind of playing around with it during his free throws, during some of his offensive possessions. So you got to think, like you said, that mask just can't be comfortable for him. He's taking it off. I'm sure we'll see a whole different Hank Thomas now that the mask is off.
As now Jeff Ross trying to work right side. He'll try to spin left against Dame as he will pass that one off to Sellers. Now Goodman tried to drive baseline, but they will call a block on the Red Devils there on Juergens, and they will inbound the ball from underneath the Eureka basket, tied here at 18. Now 18-18, 10:54 left here in the first half, 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Panthers. So the Eureka College men still sticking with that man defense here, trying to really tighten down and stop the Principia run here. As now Sellers tries to get to the basket. That one up, no good. Tipped around and eventually rebounded by Juergens. Juergens off and running. Juergens works left side. He tries to go coast to coast here. He will put that one up. Heavily contested. It is no good. Rebounded by Principia.
Good to see Austin Juergens, though, taking the ball coast to coast. May not have made the shot, but that's got to be inspiring for Coach Willie to see that he can put the ball in other guys' hands.
And now Juergens coming right back down on the other end and taking a charge there. The charge, one of those fouls that can really swing the momentum. You really see it get people fired up. It's one of those hustle plays that coaches just really appreciate seeing.
And like you said, people love seeing the charge. It just gets everybody excited. It shows that you really do care about this game, and you don't want the offense to essentially score. So stepping up and taking the charge is important.
Yeah, Juergens there really just putting the body on the line, doing a great job of getting set there, not letting Principia get their first lead of the contest now as McElmurray has the ball, giving it to Dame and back to Juergens. Juergens now trying to get a little bit of space, working left as he will get to the basket and put that one up and in. Giving the Red Devils back that lead, 20-18, just over 10 minutes left here in the first half.
And Juergens is a guy who's really stepped up his game from last year to this year, realizing his role, realizing he can come off the bench and make an impact, and that's exactly what he's done.
As Wiegand there blocking a shot, Principia able to get that one back, however. It's now Micah Paulson tries to get to the basket. He'll get up to Ross, and that pass back to Davidson. Davidson now tries to get to the basket, and that too up and no good off the backboard. Now McElmurray gives it right side to Wiegand as he will look for Dame coming back down the floor. A little bit of a tie-up down there on the other end. They will give to Juergens inside and put another one up and in for two in the lane. Juergens giving the Red Devils back that 4-point lead as now Micah Paulson gives the ball off to Jeff Ross again. Jeff Ross has a lot of space out there from the top of the key. Jordan Dame guarding him from the free throw line, certainly giving him that option, but Jeff Ross just not taking the shot. As now Principia will look to inbound. Jordan Dame guarding that inbound, and they will get it into Paulson. They go up top to Sellers. Sellers has that one poked out by McElmurray, but they will find Mike Paulson back in the right side corner. That no good, but rebounded by Ross. Ross now contested down low, and they will give it up top to Parker Davidson. That one no good, but once again rebounded by Principia. That time put back in for two.
That's something Eureka's going to have to tie down on, is that rebounding aspect. Keep this length and size of Principia honest and outside the block in the lane area.
We saw some good blockouts there from the Red Devils, but almost just pushing the Panthers back and leaving a lot of space there in the key. This great box outs, but creating room for the Panthers to crash and get those rebounds. As now Paulson tries to attack again. He'll go up through traffic, somehow get that one to go. Bit of a circus layup, but the Red Devils are off and running quickly here on the opposition. Now McElmurray has the ball, guarded by Davidson. So he'll kick it out to Hank Thomas. Hank Thomas working left side through the lane. So now McElmurray will get it back on the left, have some room, put that three up, and knock that one down. Ryan McElmurray, 4 3-pointers here in the first half of tonight's contest. Not a guy we see taking a ton of shots, certainly stepping up when the Red Devils need it here.
Like you said, stepping up, and he's been a guy that stepped up all season long when the shooters haven't been shooting well, when people haven't been doing as good a job as they're expected to. He's been the guy to really turn that around and get the keys in the ignition and start up this Red Devils offense.
Yeah, it can certainly be a spark plug for this team as he will now check out of the contest, get a quick breather there as Sanders back into the game for the Red Devils. Now Micah Paulson has the ball working left side. Not wanting to give that one up, but eventually give it off to Ross, and they will swing it all the way across to Brendan Paulson. Up top, back to Ross. So he'll hand it off to Micah Paulson as he tries to work off Ross's screen. He will throw that one away, stolen by Juergens. Juergens has the ball on the left side as he will try to go to the basket, loses that one temporarily, gets it back. He will try to kick it out to Hank Thomas, but it looks like he will be fouled there by Brendan Paulson, and the Red Devils will get the ball back here. So you can see this Principia offense looks like it is always looking to go through Micah Paulson. Here is he really not looking like he wants to give up the ball in those possessions, looking like he will do whatever it takes to have the ball in his hands there. As now the Red Devils inbound it back up top to Hank Thomas as he will set things up, working once again against that 2-3 zone. He will give it right side to Wiegand. Wiegand looks to drive right side baseline, gives it out to Sanders as they will look to swing. And Juergens will try to get the ball inside, tipped around and eventually stolen by Principia. But Wiegand hustling back and getting that one back before Jordan Dane puts up the long three. No good. Long rebound by Micah Paulson. As that one looks like kind of a ticky-tack foul there, just the touch by Juergens enough to draw the whistle here from this officiating crew. Eureka College up 25-22 here with 7:25 left in the first half. So we'll now see Dakota Bennington checking back into the game for Juergens. That one you can see head coach Chip Wilde not too happy about. Can't say I blame him there. Looked like very minimal contact there on that foul.
You know, and when he doesn't agree with the foul, he'll let you know. He's one of the first guys jumping up and down, asking the officials what he saw there, really trying to get clarification.
As now Jeff Ross has the ball up top again, back to Micah Paulson, now guarded by Sanders. The jab step, gets some space, puts up a three, no good, rebounded by Bennington. Bennington now to Sanders as Sanders looks to push the ball up on the right side. Now he will look to hand it off to Hank Thomas, cut off there by Paulson, as now Sanders will drive through the lane. He kicks it out to Wiegand. Dakota Bennington now up top. He will look to get some space. Couple crossover drills, puts that long two up, no good, rebounded by Wiegand. Wiegand now the bounce pass to Bennington. Bennington makes a couple Principia defenders leave their feet, gets to the basket, but they will call a charge on Bennington there as he goes for the lay-in. Not too happy about that one. Wiegand doing a good job of extending the possession. Bennington getting to the basket, but Principia there just camping out in the lane.
You know, and that's something Wiegand does exceptionally well, gets that extra possession for this Red Devils team, and he did a great job of that there.
As now Mike Paulson will once again bring the ball up the floor, and he gives it off to Davidson. Davidson now to Ross. Ross once again here not very active on offense, looks to get that ball, kind of play quarterback there and just kind of try to find the open man. So now Principia no good, rebounded once again by Eureka.
You know, and this Principia team not getting easy open looks. They're just knocking down some tremendous shots.
As now Davidson goes cross court to Ross. Ross cutting, lost the ball there, but he will kick it out to Paulson. That three from the wing is up and good to tie this one up at 25. So now Brady Sanders brings the ball up. All tied up here at 25 with 6 minutes left in the half. Brady Sanders looking to work left side to Hank Thomas. Hank Thomas now will drive left to the lane, catch a lot of contact there and be fouled and head to the line for 2 more free throws. This Red Devil team here struggling with turnovers on the last few possessions. Now Hank Thomas just taking the ball in his own hands and trying to get to the basket.
You know, if I'm Principia, that's not a guy I'm going to make a habit of fouling. He's a great free throw shooter. He also builds his confidence off making free throws, so it's going to be interesting to see his free throw shooting transitions over into his three-point shooting. And if he gets going on that three-point end, man, it's going to be a long day.
With the first free throw attempt in the hole, it is 26-25 here, Eureka College, as now Zielsdorf will check into the contest for the first time, sending Bennington to the bench for a quick breather there with a couple fouls. And Thomas will knock down the second one, extending this lead to 2. As now Goodman back in the game for Principia. They will swing it up top to Ross. Ross gives it left to Paulson. Now Goodman looks, tries to get a step, puts that one up and in over Wiegand for 2.
You know, not much more Wiegand could do there. He had his arms up. He just made a tremendous shot over the top of him, and not much more you can ask Wiegand to do in that defensive possession.
Yeah, like you said there, Wiegand's only other option there to foul, but certainly not wanting to do that, making him earn the 2 right there. Now Eureka, Hank Thomas, some more space. He will put that one up and in for 2. Hank Thomas doing a good job of here, not in the starting lineup, playing some limited minutes coming back from that injury, but he wants to earn those minutes, and he is putting up some nice scoring numbers here. As now Micah Paulson once again on the left side. And they will call a foul that time on Zielsdorf, as it looks like he and Davidson were battling for position there down low. Yeah, these referees not letting him get away with much here. We've seen a lot of contact fouls, a lot of off-ball fouls here early.
Interesting to see that. We've seen both aspects. Refs letting both teams play physical, but also tonight, a lot of ticky-tack fouls, like you've said. Interesting to see how both coaches are going to try and figure out a way for their teams to stop and stay out of foul trouble.
The free throws missed on the 1-and-1, tipped around, eventually out of bounds off of Principia, and now Eureka will get the ball back here with 5 minutes left. Up 29-27 here as they will get a quick 30-second timeout from head coach Chip Wilde. Coach Wilde, we saw getting off to a quick early run here, but Principia really coming on as of late and closing that gap, keeping this one close. Right when Eureka looks like they're ready to pull away, get a couple, 4, maybe a 6-point lead, Principia just closing that door once again.
And credit Principia to not allowing Eureka to get those open looks. We're so accustomed to seeing them get. They played tremendous defense, but at the same time, Eureka playing great defense too. Principia just hitting some key shots, and it's been a back-and-forth game, and I'm excited to watch how the rest of this game is going to play out with this back-and-forth kind of style.
Yeah, we talked about all the time here for Eureka. This is a team that if they get out in front, they push that lead very aggressively, up by 20, down by 20. You don't really see a difference in the way this team plays. You don't see a difference in scoring. You don't see a difference in the matchups. This is a team that's very aggressive no matter what the score. Here in this close contest, certainly fighting to try to push that lead. As now Sanders swings the ball, they will get it right side to Dame. Dame out to Hank Thomas, has a little bit of space. He'll try to drive left, step back, put that three up, and almost good just off the front of the iron there. Tipped around, rebounded by Sanders. Sanders really scrapping for that one as he will pull it back out, find Hank Thomas in the corner. Hank Thomas, a couple of spin moves. He will get to Sanders. Dame some space up top, guarded by Ross. He will try to get to the basket, and they will get the block there on Goodman. Goodman there, you can see, not too happy about that one. But Jordan Dame, a big body barreling down low. It's hard to stop that momentum once he's going.
Like you said, hard to stop him, man. Once he puts the ball on the floor, you never know what he's going to do. He could pull up and shoot, or he could drive to the lane, and if he gets to the foul line, great example, he can knock down a free throw shot. So he's a good basketball player for this offense to revolve themselves around with the absence of Shea Feehan.
Yeah, good shooter for a big man. Oftentimes you see those big men get to the line, not able to put down the free throws. But Jordan Dame, a guy that will drive to the basket, get to the line, and has shown he can knock him down as he knocks down both there. This Eureka lead back to 4, 31-27, 4:30 left here in the first half. As now Micah Paulson gives the ball to Brendan Paulson. They will swing it back to Jeff Ross. Ross now back to Micah Paulson, trying to get some space there, guarded by McElmurray. He's not going to find it. He is trapped. He will give it to Ross. Ross tries to drive to the basket. That one blocked by Wiegand. Now Sanders comes away with that one. He's running. He will pull it back out as he could see the Wolf coming behind him. As now McElmurray will try to drive on Paulson. He gets to the basket, tries to give that one off to Wiegand. Wiegand will lose it for a second, put that one up, no good, and stolen away by Davidson. Now Paulson back with the ball on the left side, trying to get by McElmurray. McElmurray, one of the best defenders in the conference, as they will not see many people get by him. Great defender there as Jeff Ross tries to get to the basket, and that one will not hit the iron. Long, rebounded by Sanders.
Going back on that McElmurray on defense, he is tremendous. Just like you said, he's quick, he's physical, he's not afraid of your size, he's not afraid to get in your face, he's not afraid to rebound. He's just a do-it-all kind of guy for Chip Wilde and the Red Devils.
Yeah, you will see even right here, just very quick feet. Paulson trying to get the step back, and McElmurray just right in his face. So now McElmurray will get that ball up to Sanders. They will swing it to Hank Thomas. Hank Thomas's three, that one up short, no good. Rebounded by Micah Paulson. Paulson now will look to push the ball to Jeff Ross. He tries to get to the basket. That one's stolen away by McElmurray. McElmurray here being very active in this first half. Very key player here for the Red Devils in this 31-27 lead, as he will now drive to the basket, kick out to Sanders, and they will swing it all the way across to Hank Thomas. Hank Thomas gets a screen from Dame, now working against Ross. He will bounce it inside to Sanders. Sanders with the spin. He will try to put that one up with the right hand. No good. Rebounded by Sellers. Sellers now to Paulson. So he will look to swing all the way across court to Micah Paulson. And that three up and blocked by Wiegand with the great close out there for the Red Devils.
Thomas, we touched on Alex Wiegand's athleticism, a great example of it right there. Coming out of nowhere, blocking that open shot.
And now Principia forced to call a timeout after a couple key possessions here for the Red Devils. Hank Thomas goes up, catches some contact. That one off the backboard. Sanders there to tip it in, extend this lead to 6, the largest lead we've seen since the start of the contest here for the Red Devils. 33-27, 2:24 left. Ryan McElmurray making his presence known here. We talked about in the pregame, not a major scoring threat, and he has proved us wrong right here. 12 points off of 4 big threes here early. He is really making his presence known on the defensive end as well. We talk about you will not find a better defender in this SLIAC conference. His quickness, the quick hands, his ability to stop the guard trying to drive and not get the foul. Just the quick feet, doesn't use the hands to keep the body in front. Just very quick, use the hands to poke that ball out. Multiple steals there. We saw Jeff Ross, a much bigger player for the Principia Panthers, trying to drive to the basket. And McElmurray just poking that one out and getting off and running in transition. You know,
and that's a credit to McElmurray. Not afraid of a challenge anywhere. He's got that hard-nosed kind of attitude, and when he wants something, he's going to go get it. And we've seen it tonight. He's 12 points. Not a real scoring threat like we've seen. We've seen him have a couple steals. We've seen him have a couple of assists. There's not much this man cannot do for this Red Devils team.
As now Principia will head to the line after Mike Paulson being very physical, bringing the ball up the floor. They will call the foul on Don Hardaway Jr. That first free throw attempt up, no good. Rebounded by Brady Sanders. Now Brady Sanders will look to work on the right side. Bennington also back into the game. Touch pass from Wiegand to Bennington. High up and in for 2 for Bennington. Now Don Hardaway Jr. pressing Mike Paulson all the way up the floor. Another quick defender for the Red Devils, and they will call that one an offensive foul on Mike Paulson there with the push-off.
You know, and talk about another fast, creative, great athlete on this Red Devils team. Hardaway Jr., probably one of the best jumpers I've ever seen in college basketball. The way he can get up at such a not a very tall height and throw it down, and he's quick.
You see, great shooter as well. Great defense right there. We've seen Paulson, really the reason that Hardaway checked into this contest. You saw the tenacious defense right there. As now Sanders will look and put that one up. Not able to get it to go, but he will head to the free throw line for a pair of free throws here. Continue on Hardaway right there. Paulson's been very physical bringing the ball up the floor. We've seen Coach Chip Wilde asking for multiple push-offs. As you've seen, very physical. Hardaway right there really locking down, giving the referees a chance to see that push-off and getting the call.
You know, and if you're a Principia guard, you do not want to see the combo of McElmurray and Hardaway because they're going to give you fits all night long.
Sanders will knock down the first free throw, extending this lead back to 9 here for the Red Devils. 36-27, under 2 minutes left here in the first half. So now Sanders will step to the line for his second attempt. This one also good. Lead back up to 10 for the Red Devils. So now once again, Hardaway Jr. will be defending Mike Paulson all the way up the floor. Good feet there for Paulson, forced to give it off to Davidson as they will swing it right side to Brendan Paulson. Back up to Jeff Ross. They will hand it off to Micah. They will get it inside to Jeff Ross. Nice backdoor cut. Nice feed there from Paulson, cutting this lead back down to 8. As Sanders now and the Red Devils look to get this lead back up over 10 here. Just over a minute left in the first half. So now Hardaway has the ball. He will work left side, kick it to Dame on the right wing. Hardaway now looking for his open man, trying to find Bennington there back door, but nothing there. Good defense by Principia. Hardaway will just put up the long three himself and knock that one down. As he will force the inbound long to Davidson. Hardaway stepping in, making his presence known here for the Red Devils.
You know, and we've seen that Hardaway play extremely well. First game here, he played really well. In the JV games that he's played in, he's played extremely well. Good to see him getting some meaningful minutes in a SLIAC game, and he's proven that he deserves to be in this lineup day in and day out.
As they will call another foul on Bennington now, and Principia will head back to the line in the bonus. Eureka's lead up to 11 here, as McElmurray checking back into the game for Bennington. So now we will see, like you talked about, that combination of Hardaway and McElmurray here. Two great defenders, two very athletic point guards.
And if you want to see two physical, like you said, athletic, fast, quick point guards, look no further because these two will bring the pressure. They will bring the tenacity. They will bring the kind of edge to this Eureka team on the floor right now.
Yeah, the 5-4 Eureka College, Don Hardaway Jr., Ryan McElmurray, Brady Sanders, Alex Wiegand, Jordan Dame. A nice defensive look here for the Red Devils as you see three guards you would really classify as heavy defenders in McElmurray, Sanders, and Hardaway. as now Eureka on the counterattack. McElmurray will dish that one off to Wiegand as he will find Dame open on the right side. Give it out to Hardaway. That pass now back to Dame. That three is up and good in the face of two Principia defenders.
You know, not something we've seen from Jordan Dame in recent weeks is the ability to knock down shots, but tonight he cannot miss an open shot. That's got to be inspiring for this Red Devils team.
As now that lead up to 12, 43-31 here at the shot clock off, but Mike Paulson will just pull that one up instead, giving the Eureka Red Devils another chance at a possession here with 10 seconds left. As now McElmurray looks to work, he'll check up at the clock. Jordan Dame puts up another three, knocks that one down as well as the buzzer goes off here, extending that Eureka lead to 15, 46-31 here as we head into the half. That one just deflating for the Principia Panthers. As you can see, guys, their heads down walking into the locker room. Eureka College there had an 8-point lead with 45 seconds left, pushed it all the way back up to 15 here. Principia there had the chance to hold for one more possession with 15 seconds left. Shot clock was off of Micah Paulson, decided to go for the contested three instead. Really kind of a poor decision there as Eureka College gets it back, and Jordan Dame knocks down the big three there for the Red Devils. As we see a 15-point lead, 46-31. We will be back shortly with an interview from Eureka College Red Devil football star Trevor Ziebert here in the halftime show. Hello and welcome back to the Christine Bonatti Bullwinkle Arena here at the Reagan Center for our halftime interview. We are here with senior Eureka College football star Trevor Ziebert, three-time All-UMAC selection, one-time All-Region, two-time Defensive Player of the Week, has the season tackle for loss record, the career tackle for loss record, the season sack record, career sack record, and has been selected as a three-time Player of the Week. More awards than we can count here. Trevor Ziebert, first of all, welcome to the broadcast. Something that we've talked about with multiple players here at halftime. We've talked about it with Tony Greenwood before, with Ryan Barth. What did that conference championship mean to you this season?
I mean, first of all, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. But the conference championship, it's the culmination of everything we've been working for the last 4 years. My freshman year here, we ended up going 2-8, a drop-off, very rough season. Over the course of every year, we got a little bit better. We bought in really to what Coach Barth and Coach Friend, the coaching staff put in for us. And with that dedication, 5-5 our sophomore year. My junior year, 8-2, played in the conference championship and couldn't bring it home. And this year, we finally did it. So it's a great feeling for the program, a great feeling for the college.
And we talked about this senior class. You mentioned starting at 2-8 your freshman season, just really building the culture here, bringing that winning culture to Eureka College. The women with the conference championship, football with the conference championship, now the men and women here looking to make their push to the conference championships this season. How do you attribute your guys' success on the football field to the success here in general throughout Eureka College athletics?
Yeah, I mean, at a school like Eureka, a small campus, the entire community and student body wants every sport to be successful. So, last year when we saw the women's basketball team bring home that conference championship, we wanted that same feeling. We wanted that ring on our finger as well. So it gives us a little chip on our shoulder that we have something that we have to work for, to push for. And then, the winning culture, there's nothing better than winning. And when you come down to our student body, our student section here, everyone's bought in every single sport. The commitment to athletics from our students here is just unbelievable. And that's what makes playing the game so fun for me.
You talk about you having a good time, that great winning culture. Had the honor of playing in a bowl game after that experience in the D3 college playoff. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that bowl game experience?
Yeah, it was amazing. I got to go down to Daytona Beach, play in the National Bowl, the Senior Bowl game, and it was a great competitive atmosphere. Obviously there's a handful of NFL scouts, some CFL scouts, and Arena League, and just to be able to have one more game to go out there and compete was humbling, and I'm very grateful for the experience. Just a couple other players from our conference played in it, and being able to get after it one more time was a great feeling.
A great feeling indeed, and we thank you once again for everything you've done here for the college, whether it be on the field, off the field. We've seen you giving a lot of tours, working on those recruits. We see you working here at the basketball games, a Reagan fellow, just a great all-around guy for this campus. Once again, thank you to Trevor Ziebert for stopping by.
Thank you for having me, Thomas. Appreciate it.
Hello and welcome back here. Once again, thank you to Trevor Ziebert for stopping by on the halftime show. Just a great all-around guy, certainly made his impact here on Eureka College football. We'll talk about that success. The Red Devils having some success here in the first half of action, up 46-31 against Principia. Jake, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you saw in that first half?
You know, something that's sticking out to me right away, Principia is shooting 3 of 13 from 3. You know, that's kind of what's helped this Red Devils team build a 15-point lead. And going into the second half also, Ryan McElmurray standing out to me, scoring 12 early points to get this Red Devils team kind of started. Without Shea Feehan, you know, they really needed that extra start, that extra push to get going, and he's stepped up and made a tremendous effort so far in this basketball game.
Yeah, we talked about McElmurray and Dame, not usually two guys who lead the scoring for the Red Devils, but here the top two scorers with 12 points and 10 points respectively. McElmurray 4 of 5 from 3 for those 12, and then Jordan Dame with 10 points. A couple of big threes there late. Talk about Principia giving up that last shot opportunity, really coming back to bite him right there as Dame knocks down a couple of deep threes. And we've seen him do that early in the season, but then at times it seems like he's cooled off and hesitated with that shot. It seems like it hasn't been as successful for him.
You know, and personally I think this is a good measure for Coach Wilde to see where his team is without probably their best player in Shea Feehan, see what he has to work with, what he can do to find like that extra level to push this team above into their conference play.
Yeah, this team certainly right now looking to make that push into the conference tournament, as it is a big push here late for the men and women. The women currently sitting in second place, as the men here at 9-5 in the SLIAC are still holding the key to their own destiny really here, as they are tied for second place in the SLIAC behind the reigning champion Greenville. As now we are back in action here at the second half, as Principia will start with the ball attacking the left side of your screen. So now Paulson will kick to Davidson. Davidson back right side to Paulson. They will try to go over the top to Goodman, and they will call the foul there on McElmurray. He wants a jump ball, but they will send Goodman to the line for 2 free throws.
You know, and interesting to see McElmurray on Goodman. You know, Goodman giving this Red Devils team a little bit of trouble early in the first half. Coach Willie countering that with putting his best defender on him, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, Goodman, a lot of athleticism there for the Panthers as they continue to struggle here from the free throw line, as they are now just 2 of 5 in the contest. The Red Devils here in that first half shooting some pretty high percentages there, right around 50% from the floor. Principia, however, struggling under 40% at 23% from deep, like you talked about. That really kind of a game changer here, as we've seen Micah Paulson pull up for a lot of three-point attempts and not able to find any success. So now Bankton looks to open up second half scoring, nothing there. But it will be rebounded by Sanders as he kicks it out to Wiegand, back out to Bennington. Bennington goes up. He will get the dribble down, go to the basket, put that one up and in for 2 with some contact right there. Bennington doing a good job of finishing in traffic.
And he's such a good offensive basketball player. Like you said, finishing through contact, can shoot the 3, can get up above the rim. Anything you ask of him, he'll do it.
As now Principia looks to counters. They have the ball in the corner. Goodman trying to work against Sanders. He will come to the jump stop, kick it out on the left side to Jeff Ross. Ross once again not wanting to shoot from the outside, so he will kick it back inside to Goodman. Goodman working on Sanders. He is trapped now by Sanders and Dame, as he will be forced to throw the ball out of bounds. Big defensive stop there from the Red Devils coming out in the second half.
You know, and that's what needed for this Red Devils team to keep this momentum up. A couple defensive stops down here lead to good offense down in the offensive end. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, this team really feeds off of their defense, takes a lot of pride in it. With McElmurray, we've talked about those very heavily defensive reliant guards. Really a spark plug to this offense as we look to see the Red Devils counter here. Dame here in the right side wing. So he will try to drive all the way across. He will jump. That one no good. Rebounded by Paulson. Now Brennan to Micah Paulson, as Paulson will work across the right side. He'll give it to Goodman, who looks to cut through the lane. And he kicks it out to Brendan Paulson, whose 3 attempt is up and finds nothing but the bottom of the net. Now McElmurray back with the ball on the counter on the right side as he calls for a screen from Wiegand, but he will cut across the baseline here. Now Sanders with the ball. He looks to work one-on-one against Brendan Paulson. He gets to the basket, puts that one up and in for 2 with some contact. He will head to the line for a chance at an and one opportunity.
You know, and Sanders is not a guy that's afraid to drive to the hoop whatsoever. Doesn't matter. Defender's taller, shorter than him. He will take it to the hoop, and 9 times out of 10, he will make that shot.
Sanders, another one of those guards that is not really a shoot-first kind of guy, but will not hesitate to drive and put it up at the rack if he needs to. Not really looking to be that outside threat as much as that driving inside threat as he converts the and one right there. Now long inbound to Goodman, back to Micah Paulson. Looks like Goodman and Paulson will try to be the key factors in this Principia offense, as now Brennan Paulson's three, no good, rebounded by Dame. And McElmurray looking to push the ball in transitions. He will try to go coast to coast, put that one up and in with the left hand. McElmurray flying up the floor there. Principia a little bit slow getting back, and McElmurray makes him pay.
There's not much you can do when McElmurray gets going. He is hard to stop offensively and defensively.
As another missed shot by Principia, and now Eureka College on the opposition, as now Dame has a little bit of space up top. He will give to Sanders. Sanders looks to work against Goodman again. He will kick it back to Dame, who has a lot of space there, puts that three up just short, no good. Rebounded by Goodman, who's off and running. Goodman tries to get to the basket against Dame. Dame does a good job of staying straight up and down there, not getting the foul, but Goodman will put that one in. As now McElmurray will bring the ball back up the floor. Eureka College up 53-37 here with almost 3 minutes gone in the second half. Now Bennington gets some space. He'll hesitate. He'll try to drive on Ross. The step back. The fader is up and good. Now this lead back up to 18 points for Eureka College, just really putting it on here late in the first half and early in the second half. As now McElmurray alters another shot. That one long, no good. Rebounded by Ross. Kicked out. Principia retains possession. Now Brennan Paulson from the left wing. His three is up, and he'll knock that one down. As now Dakota Bennington looks to answer with that lead back down to 15. A couple stutter steps. He will step up there, put that one up and in for the long two for Dakota Bennington.
You know, it's something that we see a lot of is him being a mismatch for teams. You might have a guy as tall or taller than him, but he can just create his own shot in any way, shape, or form.
And Dakota Bennington providing a lot of length and athleticism there for his size, making him pay right there, putting in another two, and then McElmurray again on the defensive end, forcing Principia to take the ball out of bounds after he tips another pass out. Now McElmurray again, lockdown defense on Paulson. Very tight, even off-ball defense. As now Davidson tries to work inside. He is smothered by the Red Devils down there with the trap, but they will call a foul. Once again, Chip Wilde's not happy about it. Looked like the Red Devils doing a good job of staying straight up and down there, not giving Davidson much space, but he will draw that call and head to the line for a pair of free throws.
You know, not much more this Red Devils defense can do. Coach Wilde has a right to be upset, very vocal on the calls tonight. He's teaching his guys to play great defense. That's what they're doing. They're just not getting the calls. Yeah,
very well coached defensively right there. Like we said, forcing the tough shot, staying straight up and down, but somehow Principia getting that call now as Dame will check out of the contest. Hank Thomas checks back in. Once again, took the mask off early. Certainly looked much more comfortable without it. Now this free throw attempt is good. Eureka College up by 15, still 57-42 here, 16:09 in the second half. Now McElmurray gives it to Sanders. Sanders spins left. He will put that one up and in. Almost in. It just rolls out, no good, but he will head to the line for two. Brady Sanders being much more aggressive here in the second half, trying to get to the basket. We saw first half oftentimes looking to dish that ball off, not really trying to score, but now we've seen a lot of that spin move that we talk about, the signature kind of Brady Sanders dribble move down there with some nice post moves. That free throw is good for Sanders. 58-42 here for the Red Devils. We see now get a couple dribbles and put up his second attempt. This time just short, rebounded by Davidson and outlet to Paulson. Paulson now trying to work against Hank Thomas as he will try to drive through the lane. He gets by Thomas, but they will call him for the foul there. And Paulson now will head back to the line for two free throws. We've seen a lot of fouls here early in the second half, a lot of free throw attempts. Eureka College, a great free throw shooting team. However, Principia definitely struggled in the first half.
You know, and that's something that also we attest to Eureka growing this lead. Principia not being able to knock down those early free throw shots. But in the second half, I don't expect that trend to continue. So it could be a back-and-forth free throw game between these two schools.
Yeah, 3 fouls for Eureka, 2 for Principia after a relatively cleanly played first half of basketball from both sides. We've seen a lot of free throw attempts as we will convert the first but miss the second. there for the Panthers, as now the Red Devils have the ball back and McElmurray controlling the offense here. So he will try to work against Goodman. He will give it out to Bennington. Bennington guarded by Davidson. Give it off to Sanders, who will fake the handoff to Bennington, but now look to get the ball to Hank Thomas. He will dribble, find right side Wiegand. McElmurray with some space as Heath looks to drive to the basket. That step back three, up and another three for McElmurray. McElmurray not the biggest scoring threat early in the season, but 5 big three-pointers here for the Red Devils.
And he's having an incredible game from downtown tonight. Just a tremendous shooting performance all around for him.
As now Principia looks to answer. You saw that three certainly got everyone here fired up. Everyone here knows McElmurray, the kind of intensity and drive he brings to the contest, not known as the biggest scorer. So when he scores, that certainly gets this place fired up. People are excited to see it. Now they will call that foul, though, however, on McElmurray as he's fighting for position. Very tough off-ball defender as well. As now Mike Paulson will inbound left side to Jeff Ross. Have a whistle here. As there appears to be a bit of a shot clock issue here. We see Jeff Ross, the ball in his hands a lot in this offense for Principia, but not really looking to score. We've seen time and time again a big body, but outside the three-point arc, you've seen Eureka, certainly in the scouting report, you can tell they saw you respect that shot. He has had times where there's nobody within 10 feet of him with the ball wide open from three, and he still refuses to put that shot up.
You have to wonder if this Eureka defense has kind of given Ross some fits, kind of lowered his confidence a little bit. Like you said, multiple open looks, still hasn't taken them. So Coach Willie doing something in his pregame planning to kind of limit Ross and kind of shut him out of this game entirely.
As now they will have another foul on McElmurray as he picks up quick couple fouls here in the second half. Just under 15 minutes left. Greek College up 18, 61-43, as now Mike Paulson will head back to the line for another pair of free throws. First attempt up and good. As we will see Juergens now check into the game for McElmurray. They give him a bit of a break here. As we've seen, looks a little bit kind of flustered by those last couple fouls. Can't say I blame him, just trying to get position there defensively, and then on that last one again, just trying to swipe for the ball. Didn't look like he got anything, but the referee saw the swipe and called the foul. As now Sanders will hand it off to Hank Thomas. Hank Thomas gets a screen from Wiegand. So he will work around the top of the key, and he will now hand it back off to Wiegand, but get the ball right back on the right wing. Now Sanders looking to work offensively against Brennan Paulson. A little bit of isolation there as he will get to the basket and put one up and in the physical two.
Another good shot right there from Brady Sanders, continuing to drive to the lane and get those easy layups.
As Hank Thomas showing his defensive prowess here on the other end, poking that one away from Paulson. Principia able to get it back now. Brennan Paulson in the left wing. That three way short. It'll be rebounded by Bennington. Eureka looking to push this league back to 20, up 63-45 now. Sanders gives the ball off to Bennington, who will swing it to Juergens and find Sanders down low again against Brennan Paulson. That spin move, another spin move from Sanders, putting it up and in for two.
And doesn't he just make it look so easy, regardless of the size of his defender, putting him on skates, doing great post moves down low, allowing himself to just get open looks at the basket, and he does it time in and time out.
So they will force a Principia timeout here as this lead now back up to 20. Sanders on the last several possessions getting the ball down low. A guard, but great physical post moves, does a good job there of taking advantage of those smaller defenders, those guards who aren't used to guarding guys in the post. But Sanders has great post moves. That spin move, you know it's coming, but you still can't stop it.
And like you said, you can't stop it, and he just gets confidence off of that spin move and the bucket. So it'll be interesting to see how much he plays down the stretch and how Principia is going to be able to stop Brady Sanders down low, because right now it doesn't look like it's possible.
Yeah, certainly looks like he is being a driving force here. Sanders and McElmurray, two guys we don't typically see as big scorers, but with Feehan out for tonight's contest, Hank Thomas playing limited minutes, these guys really stepping up and expanding their roles that are typically just ball handler, defender. These guys certainly stepping up and showing their presence now, as we have number 22, Brady Sanders, with 14 points now, 17 from McElmurray, 10 from Bennington, and 10 from Dame. 4 of the 5 starters here in double digits, as we see Wiegand with 2 points, but 6 rebounds. Oftentimes, again, just a big rebounder down low in Wiegand. As now Brendan Paulson inbounds to his brother Micah on the right side as he will try to drive past Don Hardaway with another great defensive stop there from Hardaway. Now Bennington with the rebound. He will look to drive one-on-one against Davidson. He will pull up for a long two with a little bit of contact. No good. But that ball tipped up by Hardaway. Appeared to be off Principia Panther, but they will say off a Red Devil. Hardaway, the smallest guy on the floor by far, getting up and tipping that rebound around, just shows the intensity, the level of athleticism that he can give you off the bench here for head coach Chip Wilde.
You know, and I go out on a limb here and say that Hardaway could probably outjump anybody in this gym right now. Just the way he can get up above the rim and make a difference is just insane.
As now there will be a technical foul on number 0 for Principia, Trayvon Goodman. You saw there they called a travel on him. He went up, tried to get the layup. It appeared Bennington just tied the ball up a little bit, not wanting to let that layup go up. Goodman not happy about that one, getting in the face of Bennington a little bit. And now with Eureka College up 20, Principia certainly got to be frustrated here, but you can't let your head get in the way of what you're trying to do here and cut down that lead.
You know, and Eureka's put the clamps down kind of on this Principia offense. Like you said, kind of frustrating them as a whole. And Goodman just showed a good example of how frustrating this Eureka defense can be.
And now Sanders will knock down the first technical free throw. We see up 66-45 here. The second attempt is also good here for Sanders, as now Eureka will get the ball back. Saw another thing that can really change the momentum of a game, a technical foul, as we see Principia certainly not happy about that one. But Goodwin definitely just getting in the face there of Bennington, and you can't have that here at this level. That is going to be a technical foul every time they see it.
You know, and I understand the Principia's coach frustration right now, like we've talked about. Because
there's a little bit of a shot clock issue here. We'll try to get that straightened out. Like you said, the frustration here, but they're going to call that foul. That's how the rule is written. There's no intimidation. We saw the stare down here getting in his face. You just can't have that. And now Sanders will bring the ball across the timeline, working against Brennan Paulson. Principia looking to tighten up now, switching to that man defense. We saw that 2-3 zone a lot of times in the first half. As now Juergens has the ball against Davidson. He works opposite the screen from Dame. Backdoor cut to Bennington. He will go up and throw that one down. Bennington cutting their backdoor on the baseline, having to pump that one as he goes up, but still hanging in the air and throwing that one down.
And that's the kind of excitement Dakota Bennington brings to this basketball program. He just gets up anywhere in the gym and can raise the roof off of this gym at any time.
Now extending that Eureka lead up to 69-45 for the Red Devils here as Principia looks to answer. Looked like maybe he got away with a bit of a travel there, but he will put that one up and in for 2. As Principia will head to the line. Davidson with a chance at an and 1. Everyone's certainly fired up here, though. Bennington, you see him get that ball, and you know exactly what's going to happen. Driving baseline as he will rise up and throw that one down every time.
You know, he's just so fun to watch. What play is he going to make next to top his last one?
See that free throw attempt miss here, rebounded by Dame. Eureka College still up 69-47. Now Sanders working against Brendan Paulson. He will feed the ball to Juergens. Goodwin's trying to come away with the steal there. Just flies by him, and now Juergens will put that one in for 2. Saw Goodwin trying to get a little aggressive there. Sanders very strong with the ball, gets right by him into the basket. Now Goodwin will call for the screen from Davidson. He will try to drive left. He will try to get to the basket. Sanders appeared to be set, but they will call the block on him. Certainly wanted the charge there, but Goodwin will now head to the line for another pair of free throws here.
You know, it's something inspiring to see we haven't touched on yet for this Eureka team. It's been that next man up mentality. Like you said, no Shea Feehan, Hank Thomas on limited minutes. It's been impressive to see the next guy come into the game and step up and fill in roles, and it's like they don't miss a beat.
Yeah, we've seen Sanders, Don Hardaway here in the contest, just these great guard defenders that are not afraid to go down low and put the body on the line. Just shows you the heart and the drive, the determination. This team focused on one common goal, and that goal is gaining that conference championship not only getting there, but winning that one, getting that ring. They want to get to the tournament here. You see it on the offensive end, on the defensive end, people putting their bodies on the line, risking it all in a contest here where this team is up by 22 points, and they are still not taking the foot off the gas.
And that's inspiring to see because, like you said, they want to make this late-season push. You got to get guys experience, and that's exactly what they're doing here. They're getting guys off the bench into the game, playing meaningful minutes, seeing what these guys can do, and now Coach Wilde realizing he has that many more weapons to use as this season progresses.
As now McElmurray will try to drive right side. He will kick it out to Hardaway, and they will say he stepped out of bounds before driving for that shot. It'll be turnover here. Principia will gain possession. Talk about here, up by 20, down by 20. This team, it almost seems like they're playing like they're down right now. That little bit of a chip on their shoulder. This team not happy. You saw a technical there, the intimidation right there. Eureka not happy about it. That got them fired up, and it looks like they're firing on all cylinders. As now Jeff Ross will have the ball once again. Not taking that three. He will try to work inside Davidson. Jurgens staying straight up, forcing Davidson to lose the dribble. So he will kick it out right side to Sellers. Sellers tries to go over the top, and a charge there from Sellers. Jurgens set in the lane. That'll be a turnover for the Principia Panthers.
Thomas, how many times in basketball games have you watched up by 22? Have you seen guys take charges? Because I can tell you, I have not watched many games like that, and tonight this Red Devils team is just blowing my expectations of how this game is going.
Yeah, this team, that mentality, the first time we really heard somebody talk about it, put it that way, Shea Feehan talked about the up by 20, down by 20 mentality. Up by 22 right here, we've seen 3 straight possessions where Eureka's tried to take a charge down low, and it would be so easy to just try to go straight up or just kind of back off, not put your body on the line, let Principia get an easy 2 right there. But that's not what Eureka's doing. That's not how Eureka has been coached to play. They are showing the drive. They are showing why they want to be SLIAC conference champions.
And credit to Coach Wilde as well, instilling that mentality in his players. Up by 20, down by 20. We're going to play hard till the clock says 0. And we see that game in and game out from this Red Devils team especially.
Yeah, this team showing why people are not happy when they have to come play in the Reagan Center here against the Red Devils. Certainly not a fun place to play for opposing teams. We've talked about the atmosphere here, but this team certainly likes to put on the show at home. So now Principia will go back to that 2-3 defense, try to stop this Eureka Red Devil shooting. So now Jurgens will take one dribble. They will throw up the lob to Bennington as he will catch it, get a little bit of contact, and just lay that one in for 2.
Yeah, Thomas, that was going to be another Sports Center top 10 play right there. You saw the lob pass, unfortunately just out of the reach for Bennington to slam it home, but still getting the 2 points. As
now Micah Paulson tries to get to the basket again. He will be fouled by Jordan Dame. Getting back to line, like you mentioned, last week Dakota Bennington making it to number 4 on the Sports Center top 10. If you saw that lob, you just saw an incredible play, like we talked about, probably the best play since we've been here at Eureka College. Just unbelievable, the athleticism, the timing, the ball by Hank Thomas. Right there, the ball by McElmurray, like you said. On target, just a little bit of contact, just a body coming up, getting in his way, but still having the presence of mind to just lay that one in. You could have easily given up and just tried to draw a foul there, but he still fought and got the 2 points.
And that's why Benton is so exciting to watch. He's been pretty much able to do anything. He scored down low tonight. He shot the 3 ball tonight. He's even almost threw down tonight. So he's just an exciting overall basketball player to watch.
As now Bennington will pull up for a 3. That one just long. High rebound, tipped around, rebounded by Davidson. So they will now give to Paulson on the right side to Sellers. Sellers' 3 ball is up and good for Principia. Now McElmurray will slow it down a little bit here, up by 19. Red Devils, he will give to Hardaway, swing it left side to Bennington. So they now give it back right side to Hardaway. Hardaway coming to get that one. He will find Dame in the right corner. So he will swing it now back to Hardaway. The touch pass to Jurgens. That one up, no good. Tipped around by Principia, but eventually corralled by Paulson. Paulson now will try to drive through the lane. His floater up and good for Principia as they go on a little bit of a run here. But McElmurray looking to push quickly and cut that run as Hardaway's floater is up, no good. Rebounded by Dame, and he will be fouled. They will call an over-the-back foul there on Brendan Paulson. Dame having good position there, and Paulson just coming over the top trying to steal that one away.
And good for Dame, establishing his position, fighting hard for that rebound, not letting Principia build any momentum off a rebound, get another quick shot. Jordan Dame putting a stop to it right away.
A great job there by Jordan Dame, being physical. Seen at times here people trying to push him to be more of that physical, that powerful big man down low, and he's showing just that right there. Getting good position, going up, getting the rebound, and being strong with it when it's trying to be stripped away.
And another thing to attest to Jordan Dame's character, he hasn't shied away from that. Sometimes you see players that don't like to be told, hey, play more physical, but Jordan Dame's taken it and run with it, and he's played better over the last few weeks after being challenged to play more physical.
Yeah, we saw kind of a big game for Eureka, that McMurray contest, with the big physical big man down low. And ever since then, Jordan Dame has had a bit of a chip on his shoulder in the way he's played, very physically. And now Hank Thomas with the deep three. That one just long, rebounded by Davidson. Davidson, now the Red Devils up by 17. Just under 10 minutes left here in the contest. So now that one tipped by Bennington, but eventually recovered by Brendan Paulson. So now he will give it to his brother Micah, guarded by Kobe White now checking in for the Red Devils. So now McElmurray will guard Davidson. Davidson trying to work down low. That ball poked out by Thomas, but corralled by Brendan Paulson as he will swing it out to Sellers on the right side wing. That three long, no good, rebounded by Dame. Now McElmurray looking to push the ball in transition. So he will work on the left side. He will try to kick all the way across court to Bennington, but Davidson getting in the lane a little bit there, tipping that one out of bounds. Eureka will maintain possession. Now head coach Chip Wilde calling out the inbounds play from the sideline. Eureka 23 seconds here on the shot clock. Plenty of time to get things set up and running as now McElmurray will give it to Bennington here up around half court. So he will give it to Kobe White, get it right back to Thomas, playing a little bit of give and go here up top. He will give it to Hank Thomas, trying to drive baseline as he will go up, be tied up on the baseline by Jeff Ross, and that'll be a jump ball going to Principia. It's really the first time we've seen the length of Jeff Ross come into play here. We talked about a very tall, lanky 6'6", and certainly altering that shot by Hank Thomas, just reaching up and tying him up there, trying to get to the basket.
And not only being tall and lengthy, but the athleticism he has. We just saw a great play. He was trailing Hank Thomas and ended up coming over the top of him and causing the jump ball. So kind of crazy to see this from this Principia team.
And now Eureka College inbounds with just under 10 seconds on the shot clock. 5 left now as Bennington works inside. He will try to step back. That two up and long, rebounded by Micah Paulson. Now Paulson bringing the ball up the court, guarded by McElmurray. Matchup we've seen all game as now he will give it to Brendan Paulson. Swing it to Jeff Ross all the way across left and now inside to Davidson. Davidson guarded by Kobe White. A couple Red Devil defenders there as they will swarm. Bennington able to tip that one out of bounds. This Red Devil team has certainly showed they do not want to give up anything easy down low, as we see they have been swarming and trapping the ball anytime it gets in on the block. As now Davidson's three is up and good with a hand in his face. A nice hit there from Principia. It's now Ryan McElmurray with the ball. He will give it to Hank Thomas. Thomas working up top. He will give it to Kobe White. So he will work inside to McElmurray. McElmurray with some space there, guarded by Jeff Ross. He will drill back out to three-point line. Give it to Kobe White, who tries to drive left. He will pass it off to Bennington. Bennington goes up and hit hard trying to put that one in. So he will now head to the line for two. Eureka College up 73-59 here. Principia cutting this lead down from 22 to 14 here, going on a bit of a run, but Eureka trying to work that ball back inside. We've seen Principia having a lot more success with that 2-3 defense. Yeah, we saw them start the second half in a man.
And that's something we've seen give Eureka troubles all year long, is that kind of zone, not allowing them to get the ball inside, not allowing them to shoot wide open threes. Because when that Eureka team does get those looks, they're hard to beat, and Principia's done a good thing to counter that and play a zone, make Eureka go deep into possessions, not allow them much offense at all.
As now, after Bennington knocks down a pair of free throws, Paulson will look to answer with a three. That one no good, now rebounded by Bennington. Bennington very physically there, guarded by Mike Paulson. It's now McElmurray off and running. The powerful cross-court pass to Hank Thomas. He will go up in the air, pass off to Bennington. So he'll look to reset here. Bennington and Kobe White just not on the same page right there, as White going for the backdoor cut. Bennington trying to find him in the corner. That one will roll out of bounds. Ball will go back to Principia. Now Paulson brings the ball up. Now Eureka switching to a 2-3 zone. As Principia will look to swing things around up top. They give it inside to Jeff Ross. He will kick it back out to Sellers, and Sellers three good with the hand in his face. Cutting this lead down to 13 for the Red Devils as McElmurray looks to reset under 7 minutes left here. As now that ball tipped away, stolen away by Principia, as now Mike Paulson tries to get to the basket. McElmurray doing a good job vulturing that one, but Paulson with the athletic finish.
You know, and if you're Eureka, you just need to slow the ball down a little bit, get some passes going, look for an open shot, kind of kill this momentum Principia has built up.
As we see Alex Wiegand getting ready to check back into the contest for the Red Devils. You see they look to swing the ball around the outside against this zone as Hank Thomas gets to the basket. That one just off the iron, rebounded by Principia. Principia now, Micah Paulson trying to go coast to coast here. He'll try to dish it off to Jeff Ross. That one's stolen away by Dame. Now Eureka up by 11, looking to score for the first time in a couple minutes here as McElmurray will get the call from the benches. They will just call a timeout, try to stop that momentum. Eureka College up 75-64 with just over 6 minutes left here in the contest.
Yeah, good for Coach Willie right there. Slowing down this momentum from Principia, building a new game plan to see how we can attack offensively, because if Eureka can get going down this with the 6 minutes left, it's going to be hard for Principia to even make a comeback.
Yeah, this team, certainly one that when they catch fire, it happens quickly. Principia doing a good job of shutting down Eureka's offense momentarily as Chip Wilde forced to call a timeout there, a good timeout there from Eureka as they look to just cut this swing and push that lead back up again. This team we talk about plays the same, up 20, down by 20, but certainly much more comfortable pushing the ball, having a lot more fun doing it when they have that big lead. This 11-point lead is still a big one here, but Principia cutting it down quickly.
You know, I think this is going to be a good measure for this Eureka team down the stretch. How will they handle the adversity of Principia cutting the lead down? It's going to be high intensity for this next 6 minutes, so how is Eureka going to be able to handle that? Because you're going to see a lot of that come the playoff time, so I'm excited to see what Coach Wilde has drawn up for the rest of this game.
Where the Red Devils now on the floor, Dame, Sanders, Wiegand, McElmurray, and Hank Thomas, as Hank Thomas will look to inbound the ball with 20 seconds on the shot clock here. So he will get it in, no pressure on McElmurray. McElmurray working across the left side, he will get it to Dame. Dame trying to find Wiegand down low, so he will kick it back up to Sanders, swing it left to McElmurray. Hank Thomas now some space, the long two up, no good, now rebounded by Davidson. Micah Paulson now looking to bring the ball up the floor. Eureka back in that 2-3 zone as now Sellers tries to work up top. He will give it right side to Davidson. Davidson, Wiegand stepping out on the wing. As Jeff Ross tries to get to the basket, he'll lose that one, but regain the ball himself as now he looks to get inside to Davidson, guarded by Wiegand. That turnaround up, no good. Rebounded by Dame. Big defensive stop there from Eureka as they keep this lead at double digits. Now McElmurray trying to drive right side. He'll kick it out to Hank Thomas. Hank Thomas, the jab step in left to work around the right side. He finds Sanders. Dame, a long three from up top, and he'll knock that one down. Another big three from Jordan Dame.
You know, good to see him shooting the lights out tonight. So inspiring to see for this Red Devils team making a push for the playoffs.
Yeah, Jordan Dame certainly showing his worth right now. Couple big threes to end the first half. A big three right there, hoping to swing the momentum in the favor of the Red Devils. As now Ross tries to drive from the baseline. He will put that one up. Just getting a piece of the backboard there. Principia will come away with that ball as they will call a foul on number 14, Alex Wiegand. That ball rolling around just way too long on the floor. I'd like to see somebody come up with it. Unfortunately, it was the Panthers. And then Alex Wiegand forced a foul. Now this lead back up to 14, 78-64, under 5 minutes left here to play. Eureka looking to really close this one out here down the stretch. So that attempt is up, no good. Again, Principia struggling from the line. McElmurray with the long outlet to Hank Thomas. Hank Thomas finishing that one with Goodman closing in quickly.
You know, such good transition defense on this Red Devils team. Nothing short of amazing to me.
And McElmurray, you see Eureka College on the men's and women's side. For the women, Kerrigan-Dura for the men here. Ryan McElmurray, point guards that look to outlet and push quickly as right there. McElmurray will come away with the steal. Dame, another three. This time no good. Rebounded by Brady Sanders, extending this Red Devil possession. Now McElmurray gives the ball back to Dame. They will swing it across to Thomas. Thomas tries to work middle. He'll kick it out to McElmurray. Try to drive baseline. Nothing there. Cut off by Davidson. He will step back. That three up short over the top of the backboard. That one will go out of bounds. Eureka College, though, killing a lot of time there, getting multiple attempts in one possession.
And they may not have scored on that possession, but like you said, it was a good possession because of the time taken off the clock, kind of putting a stop to this Principia run.
As now that ball tipped out of bounds by Dame. Principia will regain possession. But we talk about not scoring there, but killing about a minute of clock. Very big in a contest like this where you're up 16. You want to extend that lead, but you also want to do it while burning as much clock as possible. Not the outcome they wanted, but certainly a successful possession nonetheless. As now Principia's shot up no good, rebounded by Principia. They will put it back up and in, but it will be no good. They will call the foul before the shot there on Alex Wiegand.
You can see Wiegand not happy with that foul call. Kind of an interesting foul call. Goodman looks like he went over the back of Wiegand, but you know what? It's whatever the refs see, so hopefully this Eureka team kind of cuts down on the fouls down the stretch, gets a couple foul shots. I'll go home happy.
You've seen another missed free throw here by Principia, but a much more physical second half of basketball. A lot of those fouls in the first half kind of ticky-tack. Here, teams playing very physically. It seems like the fouls aren't coming on that. They're still kind of coming on ticky-tack instances, and that's what's getting the players fired up. It's very physical, not drawing a call, but then something like that where just a little bit of contact and they will get the call.
And these guys on the court are tremendous athletes, so a little bit of contact shouldn't fluster them, but the refs are thinking it does, and that's kind of where you get this crazy foul game that we've seen so far.
As Goodman able to knock down the back end of that pair of free throws. Now Eureka College gives the ball to Hank Thomas on the right side, trying to work deep into the possession here, kill some clock as Dame will pull up for the long two, no good, rebounded by Davidson. College lead at 15 with 3:20 left here. Micah Paulson now trying to take over for Principia. The spin move, he will kick out to Jeff Ross. Ross's first three-point attempt of the game, that one no good, rebounded by Dame. We talked about it, Ross has had a lot of opportunities, this time being forced to pull, trying to cut that lead down, and it is no good.
And Eureka's done a great job not letting him get any momentum, kind of flustering his shot a little bit. So good job on this Eureka Red Devils defensive part.
As now Hank Thomas has the ball on the left side. See, now with about 10 seconds left in the shot clock is when they will begin to work towards the basket. But first, a timeout here as head coach Chip Wilde looking to really just kind of lock down the strategy. We talked about 2:50 left here in the game, up by 15. You want to kill the clock. You're certainly not just holding the ball here, but you need to drain that shot clock before you get a shot up.
You really, like you said, drain the shot clock, work the ball around, try to get the easiest look you can, because in doing so, you do take the clock away. You do get Principia moving a little bit, and it could lead to that easy bucket Eureka lives off of.
As now Principia with 6 fouls, 1 away from getting Eureka in the bonus. Have to think looking to foul here, down 15, but Eureka, very good free throw shooting team, able to knock a lot of them down here throughout the stretch. However, for Principia in the double bonus, but still struggling from the line, it's been a big difference maker in this game. We talked about 2 big things. The three-point percentage for Principia being below 30% and the free throws hovering right above 50%. And certainly not something you can afford in a game like this. We're trying to cut that lead down. You can't get to the line and still not knock those down.
And not just in this game, but against this Red Devils team, you cannot miss these given points that they've missed. You cannot shoot 30% from the line and expect to beat this Red Devils team who likes to shoot the 3-ball, likes to get out and moving. So you got to take every chance you can get to get points on the board.
As now with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, Sanders trying to get to the basket against Brendan Paulson. He will throw that one up off the backboard. No good. Rebounded by Juergens, who will put that one up and in and head to the line. A big putback there from Austin Juergens.
Talk about another guy stepping up tonight. Austin Juergens has played tremendous off the bench, and it's been inspiring to see him come off the bench, who wasn't getting a lot of minutes before Shea got hurt, to come into this game, getting these meaningful minutes and stepping up and playing extremely well.
As now Eureka lead back to 82-65 here. As Juergens looks to convert the and one. This free throw attempt is good. 83-65 here. Talked about killing a lot of clock in that possession, and then Juergens getting that easy two. As now Goodman will look to counter for Principia. They will kick it out to Davidson. Davidson's three. That one up and good for Principia. As Principia now will be forced to press on the inbound. They will give the ball to McElmurray. McElmurray flies past the press and finds a wide open Don Hardaway Jr. It's Hardaway with the smart play there, passing that one out. You could have seen him try to attempt a tough shot, but a very high basketball IQ right there, killing some clock. As now Red Devils will work inside. Sanders again with a physical two down low.
And good for Eureka. Getting the ball moving around, like you said, bringing down the shot clock, getting deep into possessions. Good to see down the stretch.
Yeah, very smart there. That pass off the back of McElmurray. He will come down with it. They will outlet to Don Hardaway Jr., who puts that layup in with the pressure of Micah Paulson right behind him. This lead up to 19 with 1:40 left here in the contest. That one could be the dagger here. As now that shot up, no good. Rebounded by McElmurray. As now Sanders bringing the ball up the floor as Eureka will just look to run that one out. Saw this game settled a couple minutes ago, but that Hardaway basket, certainly the one that's kind of the nail in the coffin, just really deflating this Principia team.
Eureka looked for that kill shot early in this second half, and they finally got it down with under 2 minutes left to go. That's going to make it very hard for this Principia team to make a comeback.
As now Juergens heads back to the line, knocks that first free throw attempt down, getting this lead to 20, 88-68. As now Principia's head coach will receive a technical foul here, arguing with the referee. And now we will see more free throws for Eureka here with 1:20 left in the contest. We talked about this game has been decided a while ago. Certainly just need to keep your composure and close this one out.
And something Eureka did well is frustrate this Principia team as a whole. They didn't let their shooters get going. They didn't let their defense get sloppy, They didn't let any momentum build. They just been an overall clamp on this Principia team tonight.
Yeah, as Eureka jumped out to a big lead early, Principia able to cut that gap down. But once Eureka got it back to 20, they just really had the foot on the gas, never took it off. And you still see right now, this team still, with 1:20, up by 20, this game has been decided for a couple minutes. Talk about Don Hardaway Jr., kind of the nail in the coffin there, really deflating this Principia team. But Eureka's not done. There's 1:20. They're still playing tough defense. They're not just letting Principia get to the basket. They want to keep this lead at 20. They like saying, we won by the 20-piece here, up by 21 now, 89-68.
Thomas, and real quick on that, are you going to be surprised if Don Hardaway Jr. comes out and presses the point guard even up by 21? Because I'm not. That's the kind of mentality that these two guards, especially McElmurray and Hardaway Jr., and this team have in general. Like you said, we want to win, and we want to win big.
Especially here at home, they like putting on a show for their fans. It's like you mentioned right here, Don Hardaway Jr. pressuring the point guard, bringing the ball up the floor. Up by 22, he is not going to give him anything easy. As now Davidson will swing the ball to Jeff Ross. Ross tries to work inside to Goodman. And still the trap there from Eureka as that two up, no good, rebounded by Dame. Dame now fouled by Goodman. As now Dame will head to the line, Goodman fouling out of the contest here with 1 minute left. Dame heading to the line, up by 22 points. Another big win here for the Eureka College men. Talk about tied at second place in the standings right now. Of course, the top 4 teams make the conference tournament. Eureka, a big one here at home. We talked about without Shea Feehan out tonight with the ankle injury. They went on the road earlier in the week and had a big win at Spalding.
And they really needed this tonight. They really needed to keep this momentum going because, like you said, without Feehan, it was going to be interesting to see what this Red Devils team would come out like. And they've answered the adversity pretty well, I'd say, going 2-0 without him. And now they just look to continue this train moving on into the conference tournament.
As Eureka now will advance to 10-5 in the SLIAC. Of course, right now tied with Westminster behind Greenville. The Eureka College men still looking for that push. Could still potentially host the conference tournament. We know only a handful of games left here, but still fighting for that first place spot, something this men's squad would really love to see brought to the Reagan Center.
You know, and credit both men's and women's basketball at Eureka College. They've done a tremendous job. Both sitting second right now. Both still could potentially have the conference tournament here. So you're going to see a lot of fight from both men's and women's basketball down the stretch.
As you've seen, the intensity certainly gotten people excited here on campus. As Principia will turn that one over, as we still see the tough defense here from Principia, from Eureka College rather. So you can certainly see the frustration just spilling over here for Principia as Eureka College. Principia team not happy to see this kind of pressure, but Eureka College, we really saw kind of the turning point was that technical foul on Principia, on Goodman, that really gave Eureka College that edge. They are coming out playing with very high intensity ever since then, pushed that lead very quickly back up to the high double digits, now up in the 20s.
You know, and this is a team, you give them an inch, like giving them a technical foul, and they'll take a mile. They will push and push and push you to your breaking point.
As now 43.4 seconds left here, Eureka College up by 24. This team, very exciting to watch. Like we talked about, if you haven't come out to see this squad yet, you're running out of opportunities. Only 2 more chances this weekend against Westminster at 3 o'clock and next weekend at 3 o'clock against Fontbonne. Certainly come out and watch, support these guys, help contribute to this atmosphere that we have seen throughout the season here as Eureka looks to push for the conference championship here. Kobe White knocking down another 3. This Eureka College team extending that scoring, averaging 90 points a game. We have just seen high scoring numbers here from the Red Devils at home. Certainly fun to watch. Everyone's so fired up for this team. Couldn't be more happy for these guys. You've seen the work they put in on and off the court, in the weight room. These guys are just pushing and pushing and are going to get every bit of what they deserve.
You know, and this is a team that really loves the result and really loves to win, and they will do nothing to stop at that. If it means scoring over 100 points, they're going to do it. If it means locking down teams, they're going to do it. So they're going to do everything they can to propel themselves to this conference tournament, and I'm excited for these next couple of home games.
Yeah, certainly excited to see what this season will bring for the Red Devils. As now another timeout from Principia. You see just the frustration spilling over. The student section certainly up and happy about this one. As we run through the upcoming schedule, Eureka will be back in action, like we said, this Saturday against Westminster, then on the 14th against Iowa Wesleyan on the road for closing out the regular season here against Fontbonne. 3 matchups, 3 big matchups, and this Eureka College team looking to close out the season strong.
You know, and it'll be inspiring to see this Eureka College team win these next couple games on the road and at home, kind of build that momentum to carry them into the conference tournament, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
See 95-70 here as we get ready. Our final broadcast of the season. Of course, barring the conference tournament, we'll see what happens. But again, I'm Thomas Harrison alongside Jake Schnoley. It's been a privilege bringing you Eureka College basketball this season. Certainly exciting as we look forward to watching how the rest of this season plays out. From the student section, we'll be over there loud and proud as Jason Zimmerman and James Bowen will be bringing you the rest of the matchups for this Red Devil basketball season. So we get some things figured out here at the scores table. Both teams in the double bonus, 24 seconds left. Just looking to run out the clock here. As now Principia's head coach will receive his second technical and he will be gone. Saw the frustration there, trying to figure out how many timeouts he had. Just trying to frustrate some people here. Eureka College up 25. They will head back to the free throw line. Here at the student section, you can see fired up as now Cade Fawcett, the senior out of Canton, Illinois, will head to the line for technical free throws.
Kind of funny to see the student section still trying to get a rise out of this Principia coach. You know, we talk about the players not giving up. This student section doesn't give up either. They're always giving somebody a hard time, always doing the most they can to frustrate players. And it looks like it kind of took place here tonight in this gym.
Yeah, as you can see, oftentimes it'd be easy for students to head out of here, duck out of here. It's a cold night out, snow on the ground. They could have ducked out of here minutes ago. they're here till the end. It almost looks like the student section's filled up more here in the last couple minutes. DC still very excited as they will fight till the very end here. It's now Don Hardaway Jr. bringing the ball up the court. He will give it to Kobe White, up to Don Hardaway. Don Hardaway now crossing over Jeff Ross as he is just dribbling around through traffic here for the Red Devils. So he will run out the clock here. Eureka College will come away with that one up 96-70 here at the Reagan Center. Another big victory here at home for the Red Devils, 96-70 over Principia, winning the SLIAC matchup. Check out all of the final stats and highlights from this contest tonight at EurekaRedDevil.com. Once again, I'm Thomas Harrison. Alongside me, Jacob Schnoy. It's been a privilege bringing you contests throughout the season. Come out and support this team this weekend against Westminster, as we'll be right there alongside you.